What's happening, everybody? It's your man, Dame the NYDC. Two mics up. Man, we back. We hitting it again with a brand new episode. And today, man, we got a celebrity that's joining us, but she all about purpose. And this was what really struck a chord with me. She and I were talking, behind scenes before we got on. We always love having our celebrity guests come in and really rock with us. But when you have a celebrity that's taking it to the next level, that really jobs and is in line with what, I think what we're here at Two Mics, so what we're all about is about purpose, elevating others and just really just trying to sow in and uplift, because we live in a world of so much negativity right now. And, trying to sow into each other and really, bring out that positivity is what it's all about. So I'm going to stop teasing and I'm going to bring today's guest, who's going to be joining me on the other mic, the lovely, the multi-talented, the multi-faceted. Look at that smile, ladies and gentlemen, is actress Racquel Bianca John. Racquel, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing today, sis?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I'll tell you that smile is infectious. And I mean, it brightens up your. I don't care if you're in a bad mood. It just brightens up your day. Brightens up your day. That's the energy that we love. And I just really have to ask, for those who may not be familiar, because I don't know how you are, or are you aren't, I mean, like real talk. But Racquel, please give us some history about yourself and talk a little bit about how you actually got into acting.
Oh, wow. Okay. So my journey with acting is definitely interesting. I so I never really I never wanted to pursue acting when I first came across it. I wanted to be a painter. I did 2 years of AP art in high school, and I went to college for graphic design. So I'm an artist, like by nature anyway, but really want to be a famous painter. Like I was like, I'm going to be a famous painter. That's why I told my mom. So I went to an audition with my brother, and he was going out for this movie, and they said, just tag along with us and go with us to this audition. I said, okay, fine, I will. At the time, he had really, really, really long hair, and so they thought he was a girl. And so my mom was like, no, but I do have a daughter. So she was like, just try out. You never know. I said, Mama, no, this is not my thing. And she's like, she coached me on the character. I auditioned and I booked the lead role.
That's what's up.
And so that took me by surprise. So I filmed the whole movie. It was an independent project that we filmed here in Atlanta. And after that, I was like, what is this? This is amazing. And so I took time to study. I took I think I want to say 4 years to study, where I wasn't really auditioning. I really wanted to learn more about acting. One thing my parents taught us that, if you want to do something, you got to go after it full force and really dive deep into it. So I really wanted to study to see what it was about. I took classes and studied different coaches, private lessons, and things like that. And then here I am 12 plus years later.
There we go. That's what it's all about. And for those who don't know, you mentioned your brother.
Yes.
Your brother is also an artist and an actor as well, correct?
Yes.
please let our audience know, who your brother is, because some people may not be able to connect the dots. Sometimes a little slow.
I got you. My brother is Isaiah John. He plays Leon on Snowfall.
See, all right, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to go ahead, and connect the dots for you all, because Snowfall fans out there. I'm a heavy Snowfall fan myself. Sorry that it's coming to an end, but it's a great show. But I just wanted to help connect the dots for everyone.
Yeah.
And your brother does amazing work, bringing his character to life on screen. So just wanted to share that. But I do want to know too, Racquel, because you stay busy, right? Because we're going to dive into all of the things that you do. You mentioned being a painter, an actor, an artist, a CEO. But when you in your downtime, oh, she's laughing already. What do you like to do? Or do you even have any downtime?
That's a good question. Because typically my downtime is always doing something else. Like I'm always constantly doing something. I guess I could say my downtime, I'm sleeping, like getting some rest. Because my brain is constantly moving. I'm
Mhm.
constantly studying myself. I'm constantly journaling and meeting up with friends and having conversations with all kinds of people. But I also recently, like 2 years ago, just started coaching actors as well on the side. And so, like, my plate is very full. So typically, my downtime is sleeping.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You got a full plate, you're blessed and you're doing so many things. And the other question that I also like to ask when having the opportunity to really just kind of peel back a few layers, as I'm curious to know, like with your success or the successes that you've received so far, you know, sometimes we get lost in the things that maybe inspire us. So
Hmm.
I'm curious to know, like for you, what is something that maybe still inspires you to continue with some of the success that you've had already?
Wow, that is a really good question. That's a really good question because I will say it's my love for what I do that keeps me going.
Mhm.
Um, like you were mentioning earlier, I have like this big smile, and I do that because I believe in kindness and I believe in getting making people feel seen, and
Mm,
so that's what keeps me going. Is humanity,
I
getting
love that.
back to the core of humanity, of community, of really helping each other as people come
Mhm.
together. So that's what inspires me to keep going. Like I just want people to know and have an experience of me where it's like I'm just happy and positive and I want to see people win and I want everyone to feel that way.
Mm,
No one should feel less than or that
right.
something is out of touch. And so my purpose is to just make people feel good, and that's what keeps me going.
Look, I could, man. First of all, I got to give you a round of applause for that because that's real, and I mean, and I understand that. And that's what I love. Like I said, before getting an opportunity to know you or get to not to know you, but to talk to you, that was some of the things like just researching you and watching some of the things you've done. That's what came across, and that's what, like I said to you before, it struck a chord with me. It feels so genuine. And now talking to you, you see that genuineness and that, like I say, that smile. You can't help but be infected by it positively. Like when I'm done with here, man, I don't know what I'm going to go. I'm going to conquer the world, or so I don't know, but you feel it, and that's what I hope people, watching this and even watching our show. This is what I want to have come across because we really need it. We live in such a negative time, and this is really the hardest thing to do. Quiet as it's kept to remain positive, to be uplifted, to connect to the community. So I applaud you, for sharing that because that's real. That really touched me. So thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. So I want to go a little further now. We're gonna dive a little bit further. You
Okay.
you've been in some films and things on TV that's had some heavy hitters.
Yes.
Like Sanaa Lathan, Taraji. What has that journey been like? And I mean, I don't know because I want to say the Acrimony film. I think if I remember correctly, you played like the younger uh generation, I guess, if you will.
Yes,
So
I
so I
played
don't
the
know.
young. Uh-huh.
I don't know how like were you able to ever like really connect with like let's say Taraji or Sinai or anybody like on a film? Well, while you were on set.
Yeah. Let's see. So with Taraji, I did not get a chance to like work with her like one on one because I played the younger version of the older characters. I
Mhm.
played one of the younger sisters. So I didn't get a chance to like be on screen with her, but I was leaving my dressing room one day and she walked past me and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's Taraji. I was like, I had a whole moment and I didn't stop her because I could tell she was like so deep into her character and I'm not going to disrupt her flow. But I just like watched her like walk down the hall and I was like, oh my gosh. And I went back into my dressing room.
Wow, that had to be
But
awesome.
it was so awesome because I was just like, oh my gosh, like you grow up watching these people on screen and you're like right here, like I'm seeing you. Um, I will say I got to work with Boris and Nicole like one on one because me and my brother filmed a movie with them called Downsize for TV
That's right.
One.
That's right.
So they played our parents. And so I was with them on screen one on one a lot. And they're just so amazing.
Wow.
The attention to detail for like the lighting, the camera setups, the even the dialogue. We had a lot of table reads before we actually got to set to film, but I just love the passion behind what they had, and they're so genuine and kind. It was like I felt like one of their kids. I was like, oh my god, this is really nice. They're so amazing. It's always fun and good to like work with people that you grow up watching on TV. Yeah.
That had to be. That sounded like that was amazing. That we sit here as fans and we watch it, but it's beautiful when you see and you can hear the beauty in the work, right? Because that's part that we don't see, the beauty in the actual work. But I'm also curious to know, from you, because for everything, for every up and every high, there's a flip side, right? And I'm pretty sure in the entertainment industry, that ugly side rears his head sometimes, and it's probably unexpected. But how have you been able to deal, with any type of negativity maybe that you've received in your career, whether it be from fans or agents or studios? Like, how have you been able to kind of ride that bumpy wave and keep your head straight on course?
Um, it wasn't always easy, but I feel like my start in that was when it started from like elementary school. I used to be bullied a lot
Wow.
up until high school. And so that created like a lot of isolation for myself. But they also, I had to navigate negativity like really, really early on. And so by the time I got to this industry, and even with like my mom's background from the music side, we were prepped very well for that side of negativity. So it was more so a thing of like, I had to build up my mindset to see it as something that wasn't negative, but just a no. Like it was just a redirection. If I couldn't get in the door one way, if it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. So I never saw it as a thing that I missed an opportunity because I believe that God has my best interest and that when it's my time, it will be my time. And when I'm supposed to be somewhere, I will be. So I kind of like built up this thing within me that, you know what, it will happen when it happens. And that's kind of like how I see it and how I go with it. And also, and like, if someone tells me no, there's one person, it just may not be through them.
Ooh.
Like,
Look, that's real. And look, I love to. That one right there was just one of those, like, because in my mind, like as you're talking, I'm like, that's just straight period, point blank period. Like we just gonna go boop. Because if it ain't gonna be you, yeah, I'm gonna get it another way because maybe it's not meant, down that path, but it's meant for me in this
right.
path. And you're 100% right. And I want to be delicate because you brought up, and I heard you say, something that we again, being sensitive and being sensitive times. If you don't want to speak on it, that's fine. But I heard you pick, you mentioned bullying, right?
Yeah.
And we're seeing so much more of that today. I'm just curious if you could just take a moment, like, how did you deal with your situation of being bullied, and what steps maybe did you go through that if anybody watching, maybe they can, hey, if Racquel did it, I can do it too, to kind of
Yes.
push forward and come through on the other side.
I will say one for the person who is being bullied, like for the child or whomever. I will say that know that you have worth and you have value, and you are not the mean things that people say or project upon themselves. Because typically people are just projecting their pain of what they go through. Also, the biggest thing that helped me get through that is my family. Like my parents were very much so involved in our lives and always left the table open for conversation. I will say if you are a parent to someone and you have a child that's being bullied, be there for them. Like let them
Mm.
freely talk and provide that open space and security for them because I feel like kids need just a space to feel heard and to feel seen and to feel loved and to feel cared for. And I feel like that's a big component. It took me a long time to see that for myself without the help of my parents, But I will say that that was the number one factor to just keep me in a safe space with like navigating life.
Mm. Well, I thank you. Because that we've seen so much, like I said, in the world that we live in today, with the physical
Yeah.
bullying and the beating up and assaulting of young our young kids. We're spiraling out of control. And I thank you for really digging into your personal space, which you didn't have to, but it's always important that people know that it is possible and there are outlets in other ways to positively deal with it. And parents, as Raquel so elegantly said, give your child space, give
Yes.
them the freedom to speak,
Yes.
and really do your due diligence to listen. Because
Yes.
sometimes we as adults and parents, we it's in one ear and out the other. If it's got to be my way or the highway. Listen to your child. Let your
Yeah.
child speak. So thank you, Raquel. And we're gonna get back to the conversation, but every now and then you got to take a moment, touch on some things that's serious that's going on in the world. So changing lanes, though, you know, we talked earlier. You have so many other talents. You're a painter, you're a writer, you're a blogger, founder and CEO of Purposely You. Like, take us, if you can, I want to give you some time to walk us through each part of those, because those are different journeys I would imagine of your life that have kind of played out. So please, like, just take a few minutes and walk us through that journey.
Oh wow. I will say that it's been interesting because all the things that I do found me. I didn't seek them,
Wow.
which was very interesting. Like typically most people are like, this is what I want to do, and they go after it. Like they found me and demanded me to see them.
Wow.
And so even when it came to painting, I stumbled across I had to take an elective in high school, and I was like, "Ugh, I don't know what class to take. So I said, I guess I'll take art class. I took the art class, and the teacher was like, "Oh, you have an eye for design. Like you can do something. I want you to apply for AP art." I was like, "What is AP art?" Like I didn't even know. I was like, first of all, I didn't even know they had advanced placement art. I was like, "What?" You hear AP Lit, AP History, but
Right.
not AP Art.
Right.
So I applied, I got in, and started developing this crazy self-taught passion and skill set for geometric abstraction art. And so I've been doing that for like over 15 years now. And so that found me, or rather, it was inside of me and it was like unlocked. And so, and then with acting, of course, I like went to the audition with my brother and discovered it that way. And it was just like instantly clicked. Funny story. I struggled in school. Like I used to get pulled out of classes for extra help. I struggled with reading and comprehension.
Oh, wow.
So school was not not my friend.
You can
I
say
was
it.
like, I
You
was
can
like,
say it.
I navigated. It was a struggle.
Okay,
Um,
real talk, real talk.
like it was hard. So, and they always say like school isn't for everybody. Well, I was that
True,
person school wasn't for.
true.
So writing was interesting. Like I said, things found me. Like I was like, how am I even doing this? Like what? Because I struggled so badly with reading comprehension. I hated reading. I hated writing. So, and then all of a sudden, this love came out of it. I was just like, wow, I love creating. This is amazing. I get to
Right,
control the narrative. I get to create these words and piece them together. And one thing kind of led to the other. And through my writing, I wanted a place for it to live. And
right.
so I started researching, and back then when I was looking at it, it was like this thing of blogging, become a blogger. And I was like, what is
Yeah,
this? What is this
that's right.
blogging situation? And so I did more research into it. I was like, I'm going to start a blog. And then so that led into one thing. The name changed like so many different times. It wasn't until 2016 that it became Purposely You. Because I was sitting there, I was watching a YouTuber that I'm a huge fan of, and she was just talking about getting to know herself. It's like, wow, that's so beautiful. And I said, well, what do I always talk about to people? Like, what do I always get people to like think about when it comes to themselves? And I was like, purpose.
Right.
And then I
Okay.
said, right. I was like, okay, purpose. And I was like, but what else? I said, what else with that? And then purposely you, be you. I've always was a fan, thanks to my mama and my daddy. They were like, be a
Wow.
leader. They were
Wow.
like, if you're going to do anything, you're going to be a leader. You're not going to follow anybody. So
Mm,
because of that, because that was drilled within us, it kind of like inspired, me to always tell people, be yourself, believe in you, stand firm, don't follow
that's
the
right.
crowd. And so then Purposely You came about in 2016, and here I am today.
Yeah,
with
and that story is amazing because again, it resonates so much with my upbringing. You know, to always stand out, to always be different than everyone else. Because the hardest part in life that I've come to learn is being different.
Yeah,
It's easy to follow along with everyone else because everybody else is doing it, right?
yes,
But the moment you stand out and you do the opposite, now something's wrong with you
right.
because but what are you doing? We're not doing that. That's not on today's agenda. And that is the most difficult thing I've found in life, to just like you said, just have purpose about yourself. Be
Yeah.
different. If that's who you are and that's what you feel and that's what you feel you're called to do, then do it. Don't follow along with everybody else. Be a leader, be a difference maker. And I just love that. And shout out to mom and dad because they did a wonderful job. The person, the actress, the artist, the business owner, like yo, you're mad dope, you're super dope. And I just love that story. And I hope, like I said, y'all listening, Raquel dropping gems. You got to pay attention to the gems and the narrative in the story. Those are the most important pieces. You got to listen between the lines. So I also I'm curious to know, Raquel. So with all of that, and like I said, I know you said earlier you hardly ever sleep. So since you don't sleep with all of the hats that you're currently wearing, like what can we expect, or what are we going to see from you down the line, whether it be later in 2023, 2024? Like what else is under your sleeve that you're working on?
Listen, I'm always having a million and one ideas and adding new things to my plate that I don't need to. But I'm so passionate about life. Like, I really love life. It's, I mean, I could have maybe nothing sometimes, or whatever the case may be, and I just love life. Like,
That's what's
it's
up.
such a beautiful gift within itself, and
Hmm.
I love the power of creating. It's like we can really create our own narrative. Now I do have a short film that's coming out. I'm going to be at the Miami Film Festival in March. I've did a short film with a friend of mine in Miami, and so that will be showing there. I'm not sure when it'll be out to the public. I think he said like 2024 or something like that, but that's coming out. I did do a movie last year that's coming out hopefully this year, maybe. I don't know. So those things will be out. But with Purposely You, I just want to get the word out there more. I would love to get into more motivational speaking, maybe speaking on panels, doing more things like this podcast, which thank you again for this opportunity, because I think this is like what it's all about, like connecting with people. And so things like that. Everyone wants me to write a book. So, I mean, I guess that's coming next.
That's right. Come
I
on
like
with it. Come on with it.
because like people end up saying, "Oh, I can see you doing this. I can see you doing that." I'm like, "Cool." I have to like sit with it for a while before it like resonates in my mind. So, but yeah, maybe I'll write a book.
Hey, look, I'm all for it. I'm here for it. It's been an amazing conversation, ladies and gentlemen, with the electric, the smiling, the beautiful Racquel Bianca John. Before we go, Racquel, I want to allow you. Please take a moment. I want to make sure, and we're going to put all of this in the show notes. But please take a moment. Share your social media, your information, so that we can make sure we put it out there because we want people to go out and support and follow you. Because if they don't, something wrong with them. Like I'm keep it real. Like you can't deny this energy. So please take a moment and share your information.
Okay, so you can follow my personal page at Racquel B John. That's RACQUELBJOHN. You can follow Purposely You's Instagram, Purposely You. Also, I have a newsletter. So if you sign up, it's free to subscribe. So if you just put in your email into my newsletter, purposelyu.com, Every time I do a new post, it will be in your inbox. So that way you won't miss the message, and join the community because I really love people commenting and have discussions. I'm actually going to start focusing more on that part as well, building the community side of Purposely You, because I really want people to have a safe space to just talk. So please join the conversation, join the post. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Look here, yo. I'm telling you, y'all want to share this with your friends. Share this with those who really need to be uplifted. Because I'm walking away today. I came in feeling good today. I'm walking out feeling so much better. Just by having these 25, 30 minutes of Racquel's time. She's amazing. She's dope, man. Y'all got to just follow and support because this is what we do. Racquel, thank you again. I look forward to anything that you put out. You're more than welcome. You're part of the Two Mics Up family now. You want to come on back and talk about it? We'd be happy to have you on and share it. And if I could take your energy and smile and put it in a bottle, I would. But I mean, I'm just being honest. But thank you again. Continued success to you and all that you do, and you put your hands and your mind around. God bless you and continue success, sis. All right.
Thank you so much for having me, and continued success to you for this platform that you're bringing everybody together. Thank you. We need more of it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your man, Dame D, NYDC, Two Mics Up. It's been the best episode in a long time, y'all. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just really don't know. So look, that's it. And like how we always do, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we do each and every time that we close out. May you stay safe, stay blessed. Mike's out. 007.